Now, if we extend to 2035 and put in more growth in refining capacity, then according to WIO, I think we go up to somewhere around 10 million barrels per day. That needs to be shut down. In the North American market, we've seen a little bit less growth in refining, but we've seen some. There's been some growth last year. There's some growth expected this year, but much of the investment is not so much in crude distillation capacity than in the type of capacity, the upgrading capacity, and tinkering with the hardware to gear it more to the new type of supply in the market, the light tight oil, which is very different from the type of oil that most of the capacity in the Gulf Coast, for instance, in the last 20 years has been tailored to process. So the North American supply boom is an opportunity, is a great development, but it's also a challenge because it's not so easy for the refining industry to process it. It's great because it's cheap, it's discounted compared to international benchmarks. U.S. refiners have a great advantage in terms of very low cost, cheap supply, very cheap natural gas, which is the main source of energy for U.S. refineries. So they have a competitive advantage, but they also are challenged to process this new supply, which is of a different type, different quality than the traditional mainstay of the U.S. refinery diet. In terms of the way oil is traded, the fact that there's so much growth in the West, in the Americas, on the supply side, so much growth on the demand side east of Suez has major implications for how much oil is traded, how much crude is traded, and where it's traded to and from. And our expectations, and really it builds on recent developments, is that crude trade actually will decrease in volume in the next few years. Even though demand will grow and supply will grow, the volumes of crude traded over long distances internationally will diminish because more crude will be refined closer to the wellhead. In North America, the refineries are processing domestic crude, Canadian crude, as opposed to crude imported from West Africa, from the North Sea, from Latin America. So there's a change there. In the Middle East, refiners are processing more of their own crude, both to meet the domestic demand and also for export to capture more of the value chain to expand downstream. And